Hello. We gotta get moving. So I guess let's. Time will be a factor today. We mustn't think. We must act. I know I said that I wanted to do Cassie and non-cron testing. Are we still in the market for that? It's about 50% bulk investment on the cron. Problem is, if I lose today, I will surely time out. I guess we will likely get chances to test in week 3, so let's just hit this shit. Alright, I do not get to manually juggle this. Does this work? Yes, it is. Okay. Are things working? Yes, they are. Okay. 65, you got perfect banners. Well done. Music too loud. Alright, this should work. Hope all's well. Actually, it's kind of not. It's not terribly bad, but I did get some bad news today, so we're going. Life will continue. Yeah, I appreciate you, Hugsy. Alright. VIP watch, she did get the buff immunity. She loses it. We'll re-up on her and keep looking to cycle. Over to Cinta when given the opportunity. She lost it. Oh, she's not taunting. I actually should be looking to harass Bausch when offered. VIP back over. Have I been underthinking this slightly? I've been so focused on the rotation. Is this better or worse, though? Because they're going to hit us less, which is better in some ways, but it means less snipes. What does this mean? Alright, we pick up the double VIP. We're going to start stacking. VP back on Vel. This will also mean less ult charge for them, potentially. But we are definitely seeing the less snipes, but we're getting other benefits. But yeah, we're not maintaining the heal block. Welcome back, sir. Thoughts on the new era? I don't really have much positive or negative affinity for the characters, but I like what they're adding to the game. Okay, so we got there. Played differently. Don't know if I love some of the implications, but it works out. Basic might be best here. Yeah, sure seems to be. Okay, 67. That cron will last for a week, and then we will see what happens after that. It's another Cal Luminara. We already established that ISB is a possible risk factor here. I suppose we are probably just going here. It worked last time. It wasn't incredibly clean, but it got the job done more or less. Yeah, that part still sucks. I'm not a fan of that. You need to stop. You have the business. What do you have the business? We need ability block on Ben, though. I'm worried. I think I just have to spend it here. A stun here would be lovely. But not a skilled enough player to land stuns. We really need to get you out. That's progress in that respect. There is a stun. Alright, we got the 6 purge set up. We don't have the AoE, though. What do you mean? And he's got inspired. How did you get inspired over? I thought I just took it off array. Hello? That's probably more acceptable. Not a great place to be at the moment. Alright, that lock is good timing at least, and he is gone. Could be better, but certainly could be worse. I don't think Balin's health is going back to full. I think that's a 56. Oh, it's back. Well, we're just playing the greatest hits, I suppose. No damage dealer. Does that shift the math for me at all? I do think we still want a decently survivable record, is the thing. I get some crit damage here. It's not great, not terrible. Might as well just send it. Alright, they will have more turn meter control, which means less record turns. Minute third up position, go for cheaper counters. Yeah, I would not know what they are. I have not been able to focus on the game that much. I think I wasted that heal. I think I just used it after 2 basics, which meant that he already had the cooldown next turn anyway. I'm not on my A game. My record is sped up for this week, but he's not really getting to play the video game. Actually, calling record to assist there might have been decent. I would like another armor shred. I think I should be smoke bombing. Oh my god. What do you mean? We just caught him with his pants down, I guess. He probably just took a turn. Well, I almost got a record turn. His ult is gone. This match is over. I'm gonna go with the kill shot, 57 pickup. We're moving. Kind of just playing the hits, playing it safe. Still feel like there's a missed opportunity here. I think this season is just going to be the opportunity that never was. I mean, it's also the season with the most Iridiums seen to date. What can you do? Thank you for the blinds. Let me do this, right? I believe, but at least to this. Well, at least to that either way, I guess. Unless we just did reset into nuke. Wait, no, I screwed that up. I think saw blinds here. Although, unfortunately, they do go first. I regret to inform I can no longer be blinded, sir. Maybe that should have been an Ahsoka assist call. I think we do this just to get it on cooldown faster to try to get more healing. Okay, we do not get the skip. We are out of ults. One turn off heal. We would like to get to ults. Her DI is gone, unfortunately, so we won't get much time to stall. She does have the DI back. Went a little bit more proactive. Worked out. Overspending again. What's on the top wall? We're making okay pace, but we should not fly blind. That batch, possible opportunity wasted. But I mean, they got pretty solid value, I would imagine. Okay. I'm fuzzy on what I was doing against DVDE. I'll have to look that up, but otherwise... I imagine this will be fine. Good talk. The blood price has been paid. Am I getting blown up for it? Will somebody finally post a punishing defense? That's inconclusive. Well, it's not nothing. I've got stuff. They've got stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what to do here. This is the type of stuff that I would normally know what to do about this season, but I am pretty fucking clueless at the moment. Any cute ideas? I mean, I know we've got Ugnaught, but I don't think that would do anything against the majority of these teams. Are ISB going anywhere? I did something against Ray recently, or Leia recently. I don't remember what it was. ISB against Stranger, the cold increase works against them. SLK. I mean, you would think you want Bane there. We really kind of want Bane for their SLK, which means we probably don't do C-Bane here. I don't know if SLK ever works here. Would be kind of the main hopeful out. Oh, not for nothing. I think I'm just gonna fumble my way through this. I really don't remember what I was doing for JML back before. I had JML, JK, or JCal beating this, but I don't remember. I know I had LSTM. I don't know if that's absolutely vital here. Oh dear god. Also, I don't know what the opener would be. That's a booby boy. We need to be able to hit 2 riposte lessons on Starkiller. I know I screwed up that sequencing last time. I mean, if we do lesson to JCal, we won't have lesson after. I know I did cooldown increase last time. That did not work. I don't know if Afflux is ever worth trying. Problem is, even if this works, that's not a good answer. Oh, I forgot about Riffin being faster. That's really clunky. We would need to, like, swap to JCal. I think my Riffin used to be slower. Because we would just Cal go first, Cal swap to JML, JML lesson on Starkiller, Riffin lesson on Starkiller, and that's just game. I mean, they both have Taunt Ignore, so we don't really need a mark. What are you? Where does that leave me? You have Mark, so it's free JKR turn meter, and he probably needs the cooldown reset anyway. Mommy, what are you doing? Is a defensive positioning ever viable here? Well, the fracture went there. You went by. You were dazed. Banners are progressively getting worse. That's not ideal. Where is Leia when you need her? Actually, I don't even know if Leia would be that effective here. You dorks want to play right now, huh? Here. Out of my water. How did I get so much protection back on Revan? Oh, Cal has the healing and assist, but I thought that was health pool only. Wow, I actually kind of brought that back to a 56. It was looking like a 54. Boys, I threw it over there. Go get it. Well, that means I'm not doing JML against ISB, so what does that mean for me? I will fight all of you. Surely ISB has other solutions. Okay. Problem solving. Became against Leia, maybe a possibility. Don't entirely remember how C versus Leia looked. I would assume probably not great with that Bane. How would C do here? Solo. Tank C, probably not great. Is Grey Weapons against Leia a thing? Like, obviously, we're not trying to not aim at Leia, but I mean, if you doom a Drogon, that can't be that bad for business. Mommy. The boy doesn't like being held, but he wants attention badly. Give me a bit. I don't even think it's about me. I think they're just a war with each other. I'm just in the crossfire. We don't want to be squishy, but I remember this being, I believe, more about aggression. This will go away immediately. The goggles do nothing. This is just the same as the last Chron with extra steps. I mean, D-speed would not be bad. Maybe, I don't know, it feels kind of lousy. If it is D-speed we seek, surely we could achieve that via other means. Nope, just kidding. This just has better stats. Boys. Stop it. Oh wait, he doesn't get poke. Right. I mean, you can't die. What are we doing here? There is a large-scale battle playing out on my desk. It's all happening right off screen. We didn't have the budget to show it. 58. Okay. Baby steps. 50% health, tank CA. I mean, C is 100% gonna time out here, right? This assumedly has to be SLK, which means this is what Inquisitors could try, but would almost surely fail. I did bring up Great Mothers, but we're not gonna be able to crit. That seems incredibly unlikely to work. ISB, I would imagine, is very, I mean, they're immune to cooldown increase. Probably not. I threw your ball over there, dude. You were supposed to go after it. You failed the social contract. And now you want to blame me? You exist. Is it ever Ugnaught against Leia? Maybe just a flurry of exposing percent health assists could just kill Drogon fast enough. What type of Leia is it? It is vanilla. Does Inquisitors work? I don't imagine this is going to play out. I think no matter which way I go, I'm likely to get screwed. Shit, I gotta take this. Alright, apologies about that, but it was pretty important. Probably sinks me on time, but I will do my best. Is there any out for Grey Brothers to try to force a crit? Don't we have a vulnerable source here? But like R2 stun is probably a problem. Enemies are inflicted with vulnerable. Morgan would be the one being stunned. Maybe it works out. I think we just have to send it. This is probably my best chance of getting out of here. They do get the stun. I would like a vulnerable now, please. Oh, it cleansed. I'm stupid. We did not get the vulnerable. Can you just go away? You can't. That's pretty cool. I don't think we'll be talking to you for a while, but we can at least give you that. Imagine I'm supposed to just let the health reductions tick up. Well, no, AoE's here, so we're allowed to just do this. Oh man, you're close, but you're playing hard to get. Fucking ow. Alright, well, that's not game. The opponent does have a drop, I think, but certainly not ideal. Let's play for the solo cleanup. You could just, like, go to 1 health. Would definitely appreciate that. Please don't die. Oh, they can't revive anyway, but... Well, so much for that. I mean, it wasn't terribly far off in some ways. If my team was just better. That crit image did nothing for us because we didn't get vulnerable. Like, we could have just funneled into defensive stats as well, potentially. One holds. Yeah, I'm probably sunk on time. Alright. Sunk on time, if not anything else. That's TM we don't want. Yeah, there will be no guard here. Farewell. Alright, eyes definitely on Hux. Cooldown reset to Ray. Should probably get perfect defense off, but we also need a ramp. I don't think we do it yet. He's about to ult, so we might as well. Kill shot? It is. Oh, right, we have BCAM. Okay, today was probably winnable then. Fuck. That's unfortunate. Well, I suppose it's science mode now. Damn you, healer basic. I feel like this should have been a pause job. I do not know what a 1609 means. Well, these are not great. I don't think this will end well. I think this probably should have been Malgus, but on the off chance. I don't actually know. So if your protection bar is hidden, can you heal it? I think this is possibly the responsible play, just to cover the gap. If I could just kill them with protection disruption on, that'll give me, well, so much for that. Unless? Do it. Do the funny thing. Well, I don't think they're gonna do it. Okay. My bad. Not sure what I should be on for ISB. Cobb could maybe do it with that Outlaw Cron. I keep playing Cobb wrong using the specials before doing the alert. Also, I thought Outlaw stopped assisting? Clearly I'm wrong about something. They want Cobb dead. Okay, surely that helps. No? We just don't have the damage to cut through KX. That's game. I mean, the clock was already game, but... Okay, so what the hell... Is it just that Outlaws can't counterattack? Like, this is only blocks Terminator, but I thought that Cobb's kid himself also did shit. I guess Portuguese is almost killable. Maybe this is doable within a period of time. Alright, so what does that mean? We're gonna say the specials, everyone basic ones, and now we do the thing, and now we do the things. Are you eligible to be killed? Certainly you have lost some of your assistance. Okay, just kidding. For my next trick. This shit does not work, right? Surely not. I mean, they do true damage. I don't think this will work. I tried Ugnaught. Concept did not work out. Like KB Joe Mass would get a decent amount of tempo on the generator, but I don't think it would last. We do not have time to think even on the best of days. I don't know what that means. We do have time to think on the best of days. I don't have time to think today. He is not doing damage. Hey. Can you just, like, fuck off on a more permanent basis? Leave me to my own devices? That did hurt more. I will give you that. It is true. They don't have a phalanx, so there's not much reason not to use Saber Toss there. Yeah. I did not mean to click on NAS. God damn it. More. Give me more. See prior statement. Hi. I would like some healing now, please. Oh, I thought I would have gotten 57 there. My bad. I don't know. Given a lack of time to think, I'm just gonna slap the anti-Sith woman, not have Quiggled, and probably just die on the spot. How does that sound? I think that sounds like a plan. Is this anything? No, we should probably have ISB as a playable faction. Probably. LSTM, actually kind of hot here. I don't hate it. Am I going to get to play the video game to use it? Probably no. What's the wise handcuff? I mean, fracture is temporary. We stopped a shock, which is the main thing, right? My accuracy. Regarding imminent death. Do I lose my ransom if I do it this way? No. Is it the first time? First time. It was our first time for everything. Thank you, woman with an irrationally high anti-Sith number. I appreciate your support. I mean, my immediate knee-jerk is either Malgus or... Couldn't this also just be DR? I feel like this sounds worse. She doesn't have the crit avoidance in Theory 3. I mean, she gets up a little bit, but... Hi! Okay. Hi! I don't like it when you do that. Yeah. Just go away on a more permanent basis. We did ISB here. ISB did fun. Okay, today was winnable, I think. Unfortunate. I did manage to fumble my way through a full clear. So yippee for that. Certainly, if I was more in tune with the season, there were opportunities to not set up for the trap. But you know, what can you do? I do need to figure out how to mod KX for tomorrow. It is true. Alright. So where did I sit on banners relative to them? They were roughly minus 30. Actually, it's more than that because of ships, right? What, ships is 438 normally, but it's more so kind of leaning towards more. If I just got 438, I would have won by 1 point. Okay. Well, could have been a 3-0 week. Life happens sometimes. Oh well, I guess. Any other major takeaways? I would really like to try JMM in week 3. That would be lovely. What else? I mean, I need to get more shit on defense. If I can at least, like, check inside and try to catch up on the season. Would be lovely. CJ really insisted on having Mara be the fastest. I mean, she's also just quite fast naturally, but I still would have to imagine that, like, don't you get 2 extra turns functionally if someone else can go before Mara, assuming it's not DVD from turn 0? Nobody here is GR, so this isn't a swap. Also, doesn't she assist on JKL basic? I do believe. Oh no, JKL assisted on her basic, so it has to be on her turn probably. Yeah. Has to be on her turn. What else is there to think about? Rada is new. That team is new. New Republic will absolutely be relevant in week 3. Oh, right. I always forget that I have to do shit before this tier. I should do. Wait, can we just top this out? Surely not. Maybe? Does that move even do anything at level 1? I suspect the bulk reductions are like level 7 or level 8. Okay. Shouldn't really bother with that for now until I do stuff later. What am I thinking? Oh yeah. Do I care about this stuff down here? I've been getting it lately. You get so fucking much just for getting the marquee units. Well, I guess that depends on the RNG of the new arrows. I mean, this is how much? 7, 11, 5, 16, 5, 1775. 1775 a week versus expected 21k inflow just from Coliseum. So probably just don't buy out everything. I mean, it's all pretty good though. Like, we have so goddamn many here, and I don't even have like the inflow from Coliseum has just been so absurd that it's just like I am running out of people that I think are like robust additions that are done. You skip Droid Brains and Aeromags. I mean, those are, well, no, everything is a chokehold point at this point. I mean, Aeromags, if I just dump all of the Mark III Ray currency into them, they tend to kind of keep up, but Droid Brains have absolutely been an issue. I mean, pause is an R10 consideration. Past that, it's just like margin calls for like Pow, maybe. Shin, maybe. Merrick, maybe. Not as like a. There's not a very strong argument for it. It's just like, I don't know, man. We're kind of at the point of like, we'll just give it to the important units. DCT maybe for the bulk call, but certainly this season is not likely to matter. Literally not even easy. Well, he's getting used with every 3, but 5v5, probably not. Dark Cyclone's probably going to get benched this season. My Cal is Relic 8. I don't know if that's anything. Should I update this at all? Rada maybe goes to top of Fixer's tier. I think that is probably the intellectually honest way to assign it. But got blocked by TB guild requirements. I don't have the type of mental fortitude for that sort of arrangement. The ROI on TB shit is just so beyond nothing to me that it just breaks my brain. I just get irrationally angry at the concepts. B2 to R9, definitely a consideration, although Java not really gonna exist. Because I imagine a lot of people will hop on the Rada hype train for Hot Cartel. Is Afric gonna be okay with that? They do bleed, they do thermal jets. Hey. Remind me, you do healing immunity, right? Is it on the basic only? Hawkeye allies are immune to coolant increases in conversation with Afra, but that doesn't necessarily slam the door shut. But Afra might lack the hell sustain that she's really looking for. LSTB daily stream again when they decide to make TB an actual puzzle rather than a participation event. When they decide to make TB actually rewarding to do. I care about TB special missions, but that shit got solved like years ago. That was the real dissonance, is when TB was fairly new and I was like, yo, these special missions have really good rewards. We should be on this shit. I mean, it's a remod, so like naturally people are not really gonna want to have to remod for TB. That's a statement from the clinically insane. But it's just the weird dissonance of like, well, the thing that gives you rewards takes effort, and no one wants to do effort. And the things that don't reward you, they don't take effort, they take time. Okay, you have a healing immunity somewhere. I am like pretty... Okay, I'm cheating. Rada. Control F, healing immunity. It is on us basic. I was alright. Control F, turn meter. How does Cassian perform against bleed? Well, we can't test it because of GAC Malcron's being off. Even if there is a Rada, it would be... Oh no, people wouldn't have the Rada FTC yet. There are no solo Radas. I mean, we could fight a Pirate King Hunter with Brutus, but we wouldn't have the percent health resistance to really know. Cassian might be decently positioned against Rada, full Hawk Cartel if need be. I mean, I guess we were already kind of working on the prequel to that. How would Cassian feel about AoE stuns happening fairly often? Don't know if we're... I mean, they have the automatic... Okay. Is Rada turn 1 knock him dead? If Rada turn 1 is knock him dead, that would get him undermined. That maybe opens the door to something. And in fact, if he does this and it dispels first into the mass assist, wouldn't that just be immediate AoE undermine? That might not be bad, actually. Cassian might be well positioned here. Cassian FTC will be gone. But I'm not necessarily too twisted about that. We are already off the Cassian FTC. ISB, I mean, fuck, Ray 9. Ray 9 is already kind of given the ISB versus Ray the middle finger for the time being. It just is what it is. Look. Rada's being lay-in squatter right now. I don't remember how much of it is behind Omicron's. I remember him looking like fairly solid non-Omicron. I mean, we do want a healthy balance of offense. Rada just was everything, man. That really is just... And it depends. The matchup that you try will determine how much you feel like you do or don't need. Oh yeah, I forgot that the era ending gives us a massive inflow of mod capacity. That's always nice. I feel like I decided to turn this store into relic mats instead of mod mats. I mean, there's slight signal data here, but it's barely anything, and it's a weekly reset, so that's not really practical. Whatever. Streamer luck abuse. Yippee. Are we 8% health resistant outside of GAC? Also, I might be overvaluing speed here. Like or not. Yeah. So the percent health could backfire immediately in some matchups. I mean, against Leia, you would certainly want it. Due to presumed... I almost said undermine. That's not the right word. Ambush. You'd want it against QA. Are we instant defeat immune? You charge it for you don't need speed. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I don't know. What's a middle Datacron? That's the opposite. Well, sure. God, he's light side, isn't he? He really isn't like his father. He's his own man. This is kind of cheating, though. This Kron has been so lovely this season. I will have more respect for it in future seasons. While bulk is rather nothing for a solo artist. I mean, a regen when critically hitting, we would be more in the market for like stacking crit chance on the level 3 would be really just lovely. We counterattack. It's not the worst. I know it can't be instant defeated as solo. I just don't remember if that's an Omicron gated thing. Take that. Hey, what's up, Tess? I was the guest stream man. So how would a Leia... I mean, this is going to be a recurring question for every team in the upcoming 5v5. How does each team individually need to tech against Rada? I mean, for all I know, maybe everyone's going to be obsessed with Rada on defense with full Hawk Cartel, that, like, it's actually 3 months too early to be asking that question, but it would still... If I could do the work, it would be good to do it now. So a decent chunk of his damage comes from debts, so defensive protection is definitely in conversation. The bleed is percent health, so whether your health pool is high or low, I don't think that necessarily means much for you. I mean, Sword Trooper look is already kind of assumed in modern Leia. I don't remember the specifics on bleed. Does it go away when you reach full health? And that's plague, I know, but does it also do that? Remove one stack when any health is recovered. Cheer it maybe in conversation with Rada then. I mean, Rada's not support or healer, so she doesn't get the healing. Do I back out on this so I can check the Leia? I don't imagine the Leia is like... Well, Leia won't want defense, right? Do we... I mean... Well, he shreds defense, so defense will work against detonators. I guess it is just more of a protection ratio check. How often is he really basic into sides, though? He gets the occasional counterattack. Does the defense shred happen out of turn? I think it does. Yeah. I mean, Leia means they'll tend to have crit avoidance, which means the detonators should do less, which is nice. They really won't have that much bleed if Sherrod is present. I mean, healing immunity pending, but bleed does not... I don't think it sticks to detonators, right? They didn't give it for him. For life, bleed... Yeah, he triggers bleed stacks. We know that. Yeah, so you can cleanse off the healing immunity. I really wish there was a Rada to test against. What are the odds of running into a Leia with a Chirrut? Probably rather low. What's up, Genroth? I imagine armor shreds will be problematic. Also C-3PO? Confuse? Might be decent here. Gas health reductions if he was able to make it that far. Yeah, she, like, Kat is healing, but she's not getting bleed off because she's already full. I mean, speed on Rada, since he can't gain turn meter, would certainly be better here. JMK is in conversation with the thermal detonators. Or not JMK, GK. Rada has bonus turns. I mean, it's both, right? Yeah, so definitely this matchup seems like more of a survivability check. I mean, you do need a decent amount of damage, but do we bother going about this? Let's just see if it feels different. I mean, it will feel different, but let's just see how different it feels. I think pivoting this hard over to offense will feel worse, would be my expected outcome. Like, yeah, the armor shreds negate the defense eventually, but it smooths out your early game enough that I think the absence will be felt. Yeah, we're barely gaining health because the difference is so small, but like, look how much armor we're losing. How viable will a 4-star Rada be? I mean, if you're mindful of the tools that he have and the immunities that he has, I think he'll be able to go hunting for a variety of non-GL teams. I mean, non-GL doesn't necessarily mean easier than GL. Like, he's probably tailor-made to go anti-Jabba, right? You do less damage and you take less damage, so any matchup that lets you lean more on your percent health immunity or instant defeat immunity, and, you know, where your bleed and your detonators can kill them for you, or where you'll be best suited. Yeah, as expected. Hellset's performed worse here. You're also cheating with that bag too. I mean, if you're 4-star, you're going to be looking for ways to cheat. That's certainly a fine vector. But it right, if you take that into a matchup that's percent health immune, your Ambag and your Debts will both suck. So then it would be a 4-star who has increases, but it would still, you would have to be killing with your own hands, which is harder for a 4-star to do. I mean, what would a non-Kron specific way to try to tackle the JMK matchup be? I mean, more speed vaguely, but not really. offense angle, but the majority of our damage output hasn't been from offense. Just on GK. Hey, what's up, Scrub? We're just messing around a bit. Playing with the new toys. God, this one is tragic. I almost said horrible, and I mean, you know, is it horrible? No. Streamer luck abuse? No. We did lots of stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I have a lot of shit going on outside the game right now that I have not been able to keep up with it. So whatever's going on, aside from their switching over, kind of blissfully unaware. How about you kids? I do think they'll be meta relevant. Is it? I mean, I'm so trained off of Coliseum to think Carson Teva lead. No, he is. It's still the main structure. Like, core structure. I don't know if it'd be Grug or Ward third. I mean, almost certainly it's just this. I'm so used to her just being the glue. I'm so used to if you see her, she's probably relevant that it's kind of goofy that she's at the top of the relics for this category. It's like kind of tragic. I mean, R5. I'm trying to remember. It's 3v3, but it's not on him. It's on Zeb, right? Where the starting. Yeah. So that'll be relevant for next week. It checks for Carson, and once R5 is an ally, he ignores Tom for the rest of battle. Bad Motivator starts off cooldown. 20% crit damage and 40% death pen. I assume. I mean, his death pen isn't that good, but 20% crit damage. Still pretty hard to ignore. Hard to argue with. CA max health, max protection, 50% crit chance, crit damage, and offense. I think this is a fairly safe takeaway. How low do we go? We need to save some for Leia, but she's in, what, 7 weeks? Planning on actually using New Republic? Yeah. My prediction for New Republic is that their kits are very simple, but the thing they do simply is very overtuned. I think our Spectres will do just fine. Or not Spectre, fucking New Republic will do just fine. I mean, how much are we dropping? Technically, there's no reason to just. I mean, we're looking for what? Either 45 or 60? Okay, the real question, though, Zeb's archetype is a vision tank, and historically, evasion tanks are abysmal. How did you mod Rada? So we were just playing around with that, like right before Scribe rated in, if you're just joining. So my prediction that I'm pretty damn confident in is how you mod Rada depends entirely on what you plan to kill, and you really need to try to have an idea of what you plan to fight before you lock in. And if you decide you change your mind mid-round, that's kind of tough shit. There will be matches where Rada's detonators and bleed will like solo almost the entire enemy team, and you won't need damage at all, and they'll be checking you on, can you stay alive? Which means you need to be worried about your defense. You need to be worried about your health and protection. And there will be other matchups where, like, if we're talking like a Java, Rada solo versus Java, it's probably like Cassian where they just never even get your protection bar like halfway gone, right? In cases like that, it is the opposite. It is you are in a DPS race, your damage output against Jabba's ability to time you out, which, speaking of, we need to make Jabba try to be anti-Rada. I did give him R10 a few days ago. Is this just slam health and protection? Probably. I'd have to double check for, I mean, we get 30% max health here, sure. His basic gives protection up. It'll be dispelled fairly often, right? What else am I not thinking of? I mean, his basic recovers 30% protection. I feel like that's gonna end up leaning... wait, no. But the... Okay, I think we need tenacity. The problem is the Rodocron has like 140% potency, so the whole tenacity angle probably doesn't exist for now. But I think the way you would have to go about this would be mod Jabba for tenacity to check Rada, because I don't think he has like what 40% potency base. I want to say unresistible and basic, are they? Bleed can't be resisted. Healing immunity and speed down. Is it on? Also, I think I pointed this out when Rada came out, but I'll point it out again. Reduce the target's enemy's crit chance by 10% is actually very funny. This makes thermal detonators worse. I guess if it was crit damage, too, would also make deaths worse, but either way, it's a little bit tragic. I mean, bleed can't be resisted. I'm not seeing can be resisted on healing immunity. It might be a clause over here. Can be simply defeated. Blah 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 dispels it. Inflicts bleed. I know tenacity was one of my initial thoughts when I saw him, so let me search real quick, I guess. Resisted. Knock 'em dead has can't be resisted. The basic has can't be resisted on bleed and defense shred. Showboat stun can't be evaded or resisted. The reactive dispel plus bleed plus debt can't be resisted. Whenever an ally errata is inflicted with a debuff, they inflict thermal debt on the enemy that applied it for 2 turns. Can't be resisted. The healing immunity can. So yeah, I do think like we don't want to go so focused on tenacity that we just make it easier for him to kill us, but I think that's very much the balancing act. I mean, given the choice, you would probably want to default more towards bulk than tenacity. But also, any amount of tenacity splash you can sneak in. I mean, he has 13% potency base. He doesn't have outside sources, save for Kron or mods. I don't remember if he has tenacity shred. He gets free tenacity. So yeah, like, right? This is what I was talking about when I say that Rada was actually an incredibly healthy addition to the game. Normally, we tend to eye roll in my community at like solo artist units, but I think if you're an actively engaged player who understands how Rada works, I think you could look at the majority of matchups and pick apart how it works. And like CG has laid breadcrumb trails of like, here's how you can go about messing with him, right? You have the mechanics of thermal detonators that go against it. You have his 13% base potency, which means that if he cares about that stuff, he is going to be on the hook for landing that healing immunity or whatever, right? Like CG has given him a set of tools, but the tools are not as crazy I win as Darth Bane tends to be. He is crazier than Darth Bane in some other ways, but his ability to kill is like actually very honest. Which this is like the most health. You know, Wampa fell off in a lot of ways. And I'm sure that'll happen to Rada too eventually, but like in terms of power relative to release, I think Rada is the healthiest version of this archetype that they've put out because yeah, right? We could talk about like, can Rada kill Jabba the Hutt in 5 minutes? That's a real conversation. The answer is actually in a lot of ways. I think if the Jabba knows Rada's coming and decides that he wants to slam the door shut, I think the answer can actually be no. Which is why I've been jokingly saying, you know, everyone's like, oh man, when Rada's going to come out, I'm going to solo so many teams. And I was jokingly saying, when Rada comes out, I'm going to farm so many defense holds. Is because I do intend to trapdoor a lot of my teams for Rada, which means the odds of me getting a banner advantage actually go up. Right? And I like the question then becomes, how much do you give up? You know, do you give up too much and like compromise yourself to other teams? But the things we're talking about so far aren't really bad things to be doing, or they aren't going to change things, right? If you tech your Jabba against Rada, it's not going to change your life against Afra for the negative. Afra was probably winning that shit anyway, at least as far as I'm aware. You know, no real leading theories there on how to stop teams like Afra. So you're not really risking anything there. If we're talking about like, you know, Stormtrooper Luke and Chirrut seem like interesting ideas. I mean, Chirrut's slightly more passive than like, you know, my favorite version of this team comp right now is kind of like this. Which, I mean, Drogonkron's gone, for one. It's still decent without Drogonkron. CLS is getting a lifter, which means that he'll be on the market. Ben is still like fairly well positioned here as well, but like, let's say it just ends up being like this, right? Is that so terrible either? I don't know. I think you could probably do a lot worse. So yeah, that's like, in a weird way, Rada is just like a miniature rework for GLs. He is just like a universal puzzle that every GL team has to figure out an answer to. And I'm pretty sure most teams do have some form of answer. So to round back around to the original question, how I plan to mod Rada. Kind of first I need to decide who I need Rada to kill for me. And then you look at that matchup and you say, like, you know, whatever random team you're eyeballing, right? If you're looking at like Queen Amidala, they're gonna beat your ass. Just straight up. If you can cash out, like, let's say the Queen Amidala has health modding on Qui-Gon, crit damage on Qui-Gon, they run in the cam shit. Those thermal detonators are gonna murder them. They are going to try to murder you. Your job is to stay alive and to buy time for the bleed and thermal detonators to kick in. But then you also have to be worried about, like, okay, what happens if 3x defense set, 3x defense set, 4 protection primaries on both? Then what? Your thermal detonators will probably do a great job against, like, Qui-Gon and Yoda, but you could have a 3-man core left over that can tech against Rada. And to be frank, their build in most use cases wasn't terribly important anyway. That, like, again, you don't necessarily have to hyper commit 5 people. You just need to, like, apply a little pressure in the right places. And I just think that's interesting. So yeah, decide who you're fighting. Decide if you care about the Rada FTC on defense when that becomes farmable. Whether or not it will be or not, we shall see. But yeah, you know, I don't know, like Pirate King Hondo. I don't know which way that way it leans because Pirate King Hondo can do a lot of burst damage. Doesn't necessarily do a ton of stuff that Rada would be afraid of. I would imagine Rada could probably do it here. You would just need to make sure that you're not going to like time out on Vayne or whoever. Yeah. Try to make your mind up on who you plan to fight before the round locks in, and once you've locked in a Rada build, try to keep in mind what that means for who we can go hunting for. I know I'm like being a little bit vague right now, but you know, some of this stuff will take proving out for both the attacker and the defender. 3-turn cooldown on AoE buff the spell may stop Sheriff from canceling bleed. Well, what's the order of operations? It says damage before dispel? It is coded as dispel before damage. So he will dispel existing heal over times and then do damage. If he crits, I guess is a major question because he only makes heal over time on crit, right? I do believe. Yeah, whenever they're critically hit. Yeah, so I mean, if Leia gives you crit avoid, maybe you don't get it back too readily, but also, what is... Like, he's got the 85 or whatever counter chance. Decent chance that you'll be giving out heal over times on counterattacks as well. I don't know. I'm looking at Captain Rex as well. I mean, we fought a Captain Rex. He didn't really seem too impacted. Or no, he did seem impacted. But I don't know why he would be. I think we saw one. Am I crazy? Wrong direction. What about up? You're thinking offense to start? That would be more so targeting like Jabba. That's very much more for matchups where you know you feel safe, but then you're just gonna have to huck 10,000 axes to kill them within 5 minutes. You are a Crux enjoyer. Alright. I will now apply cheats. Well, I mean, there's quite a few ways you could cheat this for a Kron versus non-Kron type of beat. Let's try Handbag. Not the best stat package to go with it, but what can you do? We are still on the health mods, which is worse here. Yeah. I think even with Kron versus no Kron, not that the Kron is that crazy, but I think we're probably losing here just because the health mods are so much worse than the defense mods. I think there's a strong possibility of that. Have I ever told you all that the defense stat is pretty good? Have you all heard about this? All right, let's use the actual cheats. How about that? Actually, so given enough armor shreds, does it actually matter? Well, but he has like what, 230% defense? Will they actually be able to like get enough shreds on me to kill me? Is I guess the outstanding question. It also could be like, should you be doing a showstopper opener or not? The anti-Bo-Katan LV that I run is also probably well positioned against Rada. Well, it's about the bleed. I know we were talking about that when Rada first got revealed. I don't entirely remember how the bleed will line up or interact. Moving well. Or better, at least. Hi, baby. Yeah, still kind of hitting the same breakpoint. All right, in the interest of time, I think this still puts me in position to hit the Leia. Hi, buddy boy. Come join us. Use one of your hangout time. So it feels like we're making less progress against Rada's Jin. It is also an R10 land. Assumedly better builds. What's up, dude? Gridcard is also anti-Rada. It depends on how Bleed interacts with it. It's anti-debt. I don't know if it's anti-Bleed. Yeah, but Bleed is lose, which isn't technically damage. I want to say that it's coded as damage. You want out? Go beat up your brother? Go beat up your brother. Alright, so you notice how my protection bar never really went below here? That is a sign that this matchup is less dangerous to us. And the fact that we didn't kill them in 5 minutes means we probably need to jack up our damage. So, like, this would be a conversation about, like, alright, is this a offense set? Is this... Why did... Oh, Jin revived R2. Duh. Are we talking damage mods? Are we talking a damage Datacron switch as well? Is that an overcorrection? Maybe you switch over too far? But, like, as everyone tries Rada, if you tend to experiment with it in different places, that's the shit that you need to be in. Like, that's the iterative process for, like, where does Rada go and how does Rada go where he goes. So this was 400% defense. What if we try overcorrecting to 100% crit damage and offense? Will he die too easily? We still have the defense mods on, so it's 2 sets of extremes. Yeah, I mean, the Luminara being 100% crit damage isn't really doing anything for us since we're not really critting that often. I say as I just crit. Yep. I feel like I should be writing this down. There needs to be a resource for, like... You see, I have a crit damage triangle? Yeah. Which is also, of course, matchup contextual. But on average, right, Rudda doesn't ramp damage, he just shreds their defense to 0. So whatever base damage capability he has, assuming that the detonators and bleed can't get it done alone, you are on the hook for your own damage output as well. Where is she? Oh, no, she was 48, wasn't she? Yes. Ben, what are you? You're an R10 Leia. You have a level 3 Datacron. Okay. Anyone else? I mean, we could always just go crownless, but... $43 has a Crux. Okay. For my own entertainment purposes. Let's see if we can get this. We do not have instant defeat immunity, though. Slight issue. We'll give Cinta the taunt ignore. Maybe we just go like a speed up opener since it's JMK. They all have tenacity up, so there's not much to be done here. I think we just basic. I need you to taunt. I didn't get the taunt, but it worked out anyway. I thought that move got a resilient defense back, or is it just basic against? They just have to be undermined. They just have tenacity up on the side so much, maybe it would just be better suited going for this. I didn't have it on run. I should have waited. The cooldown can come back decently fast, but... Get some Cassian healing. I don't know if I'm making good enough time here, unfortunately. Maybe I should have done VIP on Luthum. Alright, they beat my ass. Fuck, we just need the stupid gassy and Omicrons to be on. Alright, my bad. Maybe someday we'll get training mode, then training mode will have Omicrons, and then we could do shit like this. I do want to just do the cracks test, but well, no. Part of guys won't have, again, no Omicrons. Is there any semi-interesting fight to do here? Gonna rather on the overkill train, but oh god, it's DOP modes. Rude. Yes, yes, you made your point. They don't have foresight on everyone, so I can't barrel. Smoke was technically allowed there, but kind of a waste since he has the eye, but screw it. Oh wait, that was a allowed barrel. Damn. Yippee! Omega's looking hungry. I'll take more armor pen. I'll take almost 1 million damage basic out of Omega. I think we do OG snips first. Wrecker smash. Mega with the 1.3 mil basic. Okay. Oh god, Taz, I'm sorry. I'm so used to fucking podcast being the day after the last round. Alright. I'm out of here. Good luck in your next week. Good luck not getting erodiumed if you're in that bracket. Yep. Back later. Peace.